This is a lovely, lovely, really healthy bread idea. It's a porridge bread, and it just contains very, very few ingredients. I have some oats, Greek yogurt. I'm using a whole fat Greek yogurt. You could use a lower fat one or any yogurt, any nice probiotic yogurt, but I just find that the whole fat one with this, let's treat ourselves. Also, I'm going to use plenty of seeds. I'm going to use pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. You could use whatever, play around with things. You could even use little types of dried fruits and things such as cranberries. A little bit of baking soda, salt, and an egg. Simple as that. Really, really easy. Cooked in the oven, 180 degrees. An interesting thing when you're cooking this bread, cook it for the first 50 minutes in the baking in its bread tins, then take it out and cook the final 10 minutes outside of the tin, just to kind of dry out the bread. Other than that, it's very, very simple. And one of the things with pumpkin breads, and look at it in particular with Greek yogurts, sometimes we think, oh, yogurt and so on, is that a good thing in an anti-inflammatory diet? Well, of course it is. And when you're using it in a bread like this, I'm getting the benefits of my oats, so that's bringing my soluble fibers into this dish. I've got a bread, so that's absolutely packed with soluble fiber. Also the Greek yogurt, it's a probiotic, although because it's cooked, those kind of live active bacteria will probably be killed off. So let's not get too much into that side of it. But as a protein source, Greek yogurt is a superb protein source. It has about 10% protein per 100 grams, which is quite high. In comparison to, say, red meats, such as beef, okay, that could be pushing 26, 27%, but still, 10% protein per 100 grams is very high, and there's a lot used in this, and I am adding an egg as well, that's going to push it up even further. So, to make this bread, very simply, preheat your oven, and then, first of all, I'm going to get my oats. I've used 360 grams. I'm going to get my seeds. I'm going to put my baking powder, or baking soda I'm using, not baking powder, in this, excuse me. And I've got about a half teaspoon of salt. Really that simple. And then, into that, I'm just going to get my wooden spoon and just mix those dry ingredients around. Always a good way, sometimes as well you have to watch that with your baking soda, sometimes you have a little clump of it, which is not very pleasant. So just make sure that it's a powder as opposed to any little clumps, so that it can't happen if it's been in storage for a little while. Mix that well, those dry ingredients. And then when they're all mixed, I'm just going to take my yogurt, 500 grams, and plonk that all in there. Simple as that. And again, I like the full fat yogurt. Sometimes you just have to go for it. Another thing I like to do is I like to line with these little dishes, or these little paper liners. You can get these in bakery shops, very, very simple. Also into that, I'm just going to add my egg. I'm just going to mix those ingredients then, and thoroughly mix them until everything is bound together. Other things that you're thinking with this is, again, you have your eggs, you have your soluble fibers. Because I'm using pumpkin seeds and I'm using sunflower seeds, that's giving a lot of magnesium into this dish as well. So, again, it's got a lot going for it, this bread. Obviously, with oats, they may contain gluten if they've been processed in the factory with gluten. So just, go oats naturally, just go for the ones that are gluten-free if you have an intolerance to gluten. And again, with this, it very quickly all clumps together into this lovely dough. Because obviously when you're using baking soda, bread soda I should say, you have to bring an acid into that for it to become active. So that reaction doesn't last forever as well, so you're better off getting it into the oven nice and quickly as well afterwards. So that's all those ingredients mixed together, as you can see. I've got my nice base ready to go here, and I'm just going to divide this into two baking tins. There are two 1 pound baking tins. And then when they're divided in, I'm just going to pop those into the oven and I will cook those, as I said, for 50 minutes in the tin. Then I'm going to turn them out and finish them for another 10 minutes outside the tin. So I'm just going to get on with this and get them into the oven. And there are my 2 loaves, all nicely lined up and ready to go into the oven.
And for my porridge bread, there we have it. Done. I'm not going to cut this quite yet because obviously the bread is still cooking. But that is that lovely high protein, high fiber bread. And lovely gluten-free option if you use a gluten-free oat. A really good, very versatile, beautiful bread. Just one slight little note there. To check a bread is cooked, one of the easiest ways is just give it a little tap on the bottom. And when it sounds nice and hollow, then you can be fairly confident that the bread is cooked through.